there's a medium for everyone. I'm not a medium for everyone, right?
Hmm.
So I feel like it's really like if I want to hear from them, I open myself up. If they want to hear from me, they'll share with me. They might be like, "Nope, not you, not today, girl. You're not my type." Right?
Sorry,
You know,
girl.
I'm, yeah, sorry, girl. Next, we were looking for somebody cuter and younger. Like,
Thank you so much for doing this podcast with me. I am so excited to have you on. So, friends of the podcast, I have Natalie Lucia with me, and she was highly recommended by friend of the podcast, Dani Lewis. And she is a medium. She is a certified psychic. She is an animal communicator, a healer. I saw that there's some Reiki that you do as well. So, you do it all. You really do
I
it
do,
all.
I do a lot. I've worked really hard to get here.
I can believe it. Now, can I ask how you met Tawny? Did you both work with Lisa Williams?
We did, and we
Okay.
met for the first time in California, and we really worked for our titles.
I can imagine. She said how involved that program is.
It's involved. I'm going to be honest because I wouldn't lie anyway, but I remember being on the phone and telling my mentor at the time, I'm getting on the next airplane, I'm coming home. And
Really?
he was like, yeah, I was ready. I was like, done. I was like, I'm coming home. I can't do this anymore. And he was like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Hmm.
Because it's easier to run away than it is to face your fear.
It is. It absolutely is.
And I faced my fear of and not my fear that like my fear of failure. Like, what if I'm not good enough?
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
the fear was. Looking at everybody else, like the beautiful, amazing 20, and going, oh my gosh, how could I be in the same space as her? And just really like saying, and everyone was so kind and respectful and everything and supportive, but it's that self judgment that we put on ourselves.
It is. And I think it's hard in like a room where, you have all these like gifted and talented individuals that are all there for the same purpose and reason. And I can imagine it was very long days. And, you're really tapping into all of your spiritual energy.
Yeah, very long days, and there's a clock behind you that tells you have this many minutes left, and then nobody gives you feedback. You're done, move on to the next one. You're done, move on to the
Oh
next
my
one.
gosh.
Yeah, and you're like, I wonder if I sucked.
Like, did I do that? Is that okay?
But it was a great experience because if I had any questions about, am I really good enough to do this? Like, am I gifted or am I important enough to do this? That experience showed me that all of my work was real and worth it.
Yeah. I can imagine that would be like that moment where that everything is coming together and you're feeling good about what you're working on. How did you get involved with that program? How long were you practicing mediumship before you were involved in the program?
I was practicing mediumship probably for like 3 years.
Okay.
Um, and there was I don't know how I got into the program. It was like it
Okay.
popped in, and I was like, oh, look at this. I could go to California and be tested after working for 6 months. And I was like, let me try this out. And I just signed up.
Okay.
I think if I would have thought about it, I wouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there's like too much time or you're like there's something you really want to do, sometimes you just got to act because if you don't act, like I have experienced that before too, like or sometimes I'll sign up for something and I'm like, why did I do that?
Right,
Why did
right,
I do this to myself?
right. And if I would have seen all the amazing people that I was working with beforehand and would have known who was in those classes, I probably would have said, I don't belong here.
And that's not true. But it's hard to tell yourself that in the moment.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I feel like too, it's like a test of like, it's vulnerable. It's a vulnerable thing to be a medium. And when you're testing your abilities, like I took Tani's workshop over the weekend and I learned that I am clairvoyant none. Um, I have no gifts, but it was
That's
just,
not true.
but it was so like, I was nervous to try it. Like I didn't realize how nervous I was going to be till like you're in it and you're sitting across from somebody and they're like, just read them. And I'm like, naturally I want to interview them. I want to ask them a lot of questions. So for me, like it was very intimidating. Like I can't imagine. And you do it all. Like you work with people that have lost loved ones, you work with pets. I mean, you're on all different levels of this plane. So I commend you.
Thank you. And I think it just comes from a labor of love, because you have to love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do. I really do love what I do.
What is your relationship like with animals that you felt a strong draw to read them?
Oh my. Ever since a little girl, like ever since I was really little, I was the one who was outside trying to, listen to the animals, work with the animals, play with the animals, rescue the animals. I was the kid who came home with a kitten that she found somewhere that shouldn't have come home with that. I was the one who really wanted to learn everything and anything about animals. And I was also the one who, as a child, suffered from depression. And during that time, it wasn't discussed.
Yeah.
Children don't have this. And I really found that when I was alone in my space, one of my animals would always come to me. And there was just this deep connection of them understanding me without words.
Yeah. I feel like, people that do have those like deep connections with animals, and especially in a time like that where you maybe were having these like depressive thoughts or feelings. And did you know as a child that that's what it was?
I had no idea. I had no idea. I just knew that when I saw other people laughing and smiling and happy, I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I also had like a lot of visions too that I didn't understand. So I
Oh,
would
really?
see things. Yeah. And I didn't understand it. So now I understand as like, oh, those were my spirit guides outside the window.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like, why is there people in my tree outside my window? Like I didn't understand it. So there was a lot of things that I was seeing and experiencing that I couldn't understand made me different from everybody else.
Yeah. That would be hard. That would be hard as a child to, almost bear that burden of having this gift but not understanding it and seeing people. And when you shared that with like family or friends, did they believe you? Did they have questions?
My mom believed me right away because she experienced the same thing.
Okay.
So my mom is very connected, but she chose, how did she word it? She used to word it like, oh, I chose not to experience that and leave it for you to do.
She's like, I don't know, not for me.
She was like, you know what? I'll let you do it. Like, let me pass it on to the next child kind of thing, So she understood. And I remember my mom being in a rocking chair next to my bed all night with me.
That's so
because
sweet.
I couldn't sleep seeing what I was seeing. So
Yeah.
she would sit there with me to show that I wasn't alone and that she was there, but I still wasn't, like, I couldn't put into words what my experiences were. So it was very difficult for me at the time.
Right. And probably hard to understand what's happening. As a medium, do you feel like, is there always constant chatter? Like if you, just for example, like if you go out into a public area and there's a lot of people, is it overwhelming for you with everybody's
Um,
energies?
no, yeah. So this is terrible to say, but I'm going to say it. The human people, the living people are
Yeah.
extremely overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
So I have a very hard time in like malls and crowded spaces and elevators and trains. I have a very hard time. I have to kind of like put myself in a bubble in a way.
Yeah.
And if usually I'm with my children or someone else who understands me so that they observe me because I'll hold it in. So they'll observe when I'm having a hard time and they'll either try to get me out of the space if it's too much
Yeah.
or kind of try to distract me from what I'm feeling at that moment.
Okay. When you've been out in public, have you sensed something so strong with somebody that did you ask them, like, can I read you? Can I tell you with somebody, or have you not experienced that?
It's not that I don't experience that. I have a lot of boundaries with the spirit world and understandings and agreements.
Okay.
I always say, and this is a really tough example, but this is the way that I can make people understand things.
Yeah.
I never walk up to someone and say, "Hey, listen, I have your uncle here. Is he in the spirit world? Would you like to hear from him?" I will never do that because I don't know the relationship that that individual had with their uncle.
Mm-hmm.
What if he was abusive? And here I am in the
Yeah.
middle of the street as a stranger bringing him through. So ethically, I just can't do that. I won't do that.
I think
I do
that's,
tell the spirit world if it's really important for me to connect with the person, bring them to me. Have them come to
oh,
me somehow. So if they come to me and have a conversation and they bring it up, like, oh my God, have you ever, or whatever it is that they bring it up, that's a different story, but I will not go direct to someone.
okay. I, and maybe that's me just like not understanding or being ignorant towards it, because like I will watch like Long Island Medium, for example, which is something, and she'll just
Mhm.
like walk up to people and be like, hey, I got this person, and I just would think that like that would be so jarring if you're like walking into the store and someone would stop you and be like, hey, I've got your uncle here, like
Yeah,
that would be
yeah,
a
it
lot.
is jarring. Yeah, I'm a medium. I'm the world's worst sitter. Like if I'm in a crowd and watching somebody demonstrate and they pick me, I'm the one who wants to like crawl under the chair because I get so like, oh wait, what's my name? Who am I? Like what? Like I'm the worst, the worst. And it's not because I don't want to be supportive or receive. It's just overwhelming.
Right. Yeah. And when all eyes are on you too, it can be very overwhelming. Or if there's like a demonstration or like a presentation, they're like, you, it's like, no, no.
And then everybody's like, yeah, you.
I'm like, no, thank you. Pick someone else.
Right, exactly.
How old were you when you started working with your gift and understanding it?
Oh, I was older.
Okay.
I shut down in my teens, completely shut down. Um, I had to because it was affecting me too much. And then let me just think for a second, because my daughter's 20 years ago. Um, I'm also a high school teacher. 20
Oh,
years
okay.
ago, yeah, 20 years ago, one of my students was murdered.
Oh my gosh.
And I had a lot of like regret because I was supposed to see her and all this stuff and I didn't get to. She came to me in a dream and she said, I need you to do this.
Really?
And I was, yeah, yeah. And
Oh my
it,
gosh.
it was so real that it was like I had a moment with her again.
Hmm.
I got that opportunity with that visitation, and she said, she was very clear. She said, I said, I'm not special enough. Like, you have to be special. And she laughed and she goes, if I was in the classroom and I said that to you, what would you say to me? I was like, get off your butt. You're going to do it anyway, like that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I said to her, I said, well, you know what? If that's the case, then you have to bring me the teacher. And she did. And she did. Yeah.
I'm like speechless. That is incredible that she reached out to you through
Hmm.
your gift and through a dream and was able to communicate. Was her case unsolved when she had reached
No,
out to
no,
you?
no, no.
Okay.
No, yeah, he was charged. He's actually the man is up for parole in a couple years. I think 4 years.
Ugh,
We were just discussing that. Yeah,
that's terrible.
yeah, and it's something that her tremendous tragic loss has given me the ability to bring healing to others who have had tremendous and tragic losses as well, or just loss.
Yeah.
So I feel myself like I'm very grateful for having her a part of my life.
It's almost like she was able to give you a gift in return, something tragic that could turn so beautiful. And, you know, I'm sure as you work with people, her legacy can live on through you helping people through their loss.
And that's what I hope. I always say that, like, I want my people that come to me to leave me feeling like they've had their soul touch their loved one's soul,
Yeah.
and knowing that there's more than what's here in the physical world.
So I actually saw that, and I wanted to ask if you're in the book or if you have an excerpt in the book, The Last Breath. Are you in the book?
So in The Last Breath, there's over 40 mediums that got together and wrote their story. So I'm one of the stories, and I actually tell her story in that book.
Oh.
And I share how it is with the details of there's more details of evidence that came through from her that I really wanted to say, no, I can't do this. I really did.
Yeah.
I really, really did. I wanted to say, no, how am I going to stand in front of people? How am I going to connect with the spirit world? And she just didn't give me a choice.
She said, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I remember speaking with my ex-husband about the whole situation. He looked at me and he said, you know, do you really think this is true? And I said, I really do. And as we were having the conversation, the file cabinet that was next to us just opened. And he looked at me and he goes, I'm done with this conversation. I'll talk to you later. Have a nice rest of your day. He looked out of the room because it was just one of those things that she just would not take. And I'm grateful for this.
Yeah.
But she would not take no for an answer.
Did she communicate with you beyond, like, after you started, like, practicing more and using your gift?
Very little.
Okay.
But yes. But what I did notice is I could feel her presence. So I know when she's with me. But I feel like now she's not as often with me because whatever her soul was needing to do, I feel like she's accomplished it.
Yeah.
And she's doing other things now.
Okay.
So I feel like she's met that soul purpose when it comes to me.
Okay. This is a question I've always wanted to ask. And when a spirit does pass, and if they feel like, and this is just everything I've read and seen, so please tell me if I'm wrong. A soul, like if they feel like they have unfinished business, tends to linger longer versus a soul that feels like what they've accomplished on earth, they're proud of or they're happy with and they're able to move on. Do you have a harder time connecting with a soul that has kind of moved on?
I only can connect with souls that want me to connect with them.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a medium for everyone. I'm not a medium for everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I feel like it's really like if I want to hear from them, I open myself up. If they want to hear from me, they'll share with me. They might be like, nope, not you, not today, girl. You're not my type. You know, right?
Sorry, girl.
You know, yeah, sorry, girl. Next, we were looking for somebody cuter and younger. You know, you know?
Could you imagine? Have you had spirits kind of like give you a little bit of like a little sass?
I have had spirits. Well, they will like so. What their personality is in the physical world, they come through in the spirit world. Through the spirit world, I've had people come through like, especially men, like sassy. You know, like they like, oh my gosh, wait, this really works. Wait, let's have fun. Let's make her work a little. You know, but it's when it comes through, the person's like, oh my God, that's so him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, can we stop now? Like, can we stop torturing me now? Like, making me sweat, you know, like work through this.
Right.
But it's their personalities. So it's more of a like, I can't believe this works. Let's have fun, you know?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this, you know, let's tease her, you know, that kind of thing. Which is great because I love for people to see their personalities again.
Yeah.
You know, to feel their personalities and their sense of humor and their sassiness.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like you got to have those like parts of them shine through, especially if they're willing to speak with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that,
and I respect them. it's important to respect if they don't want to speak with me, thank you, and I understand,
Yeah.
you know.
And I'm sure that validates it for the person that's lost someone. Like if they lost someone that's like really fun or a jokester and that's coming through you, like I'm sure that just makes that person feel so good.
It does, it does. And in the same way, if you have a person that was very serious all the time, and I was like, oh my God, they're so funny, they're gonna be like, that's not my person.
Right. Yeah.
So it's important, that evidence is important for people to connect.
Absolutely. When you're speaking with a spirit, can you see them? Can you see like features of them? How does that come through to you?
So for me, I always say I don't want to see objectively because I might run out of the house and never come back again.
That's fair.
Like, just like so I use all my clairs, but the clair for seeing is clairvoyance. So it's kind of like an image in your head. So if I say to you, oh, I want you to imagine a Christmas tree, boom, it pops in your head.
Okay.
So with the spirit world, when they come through, I could see an image of them. But I always joke around and tell my kids, when I'm no longer here and I go to a medium, I'm coming to the medium when I was like 25 years old, in my best shape,
Oh yeah.
no wrinkles, looking good. I'm like, I'm not coming at whatever age I pass at. So just be ready.
They're gonna be like, your mom's in a bikini.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
She's like 22 in a bikini. She's here with us.
And my kids would be like, it's okay. She was 96 when she died, but that is definitely my mom.
Yeah, like that is her. I feel like you would look gorgeous at any age. That's, you
Oh,
are
thank
beautiful.
you.
But that would just be so funny. Have any of your kids, like, do they, or I'm sorry, if children or, I don't know if you, sorry, I shouldn't assume.
Oh, no,
Do you
that's
have,
okay. No, no, no. They're not children anymore. Like my youngest is 16, and then I have
oh,
a
okay.
19-year-old and a 26-year-old. So my kids are older. Um, my children, my oldest had connections and she made it very clear she did not want to.
Okay.
So we respected that. My middle one, when she was younger, it was very difficult. She had the same experience I did. She wasn't sleeping. She was
Oh,
having really bad nightmares and all this stuff. So she decided very young to shut it down.
mm-hmm.
My son, we recently lost my mom,
I'm so
and
sorry.
my son actually was walking down the street and he was like, oh my God, she was walking down the street on the other side with me. Like I saw her.
Oh,
Hmm. Hmm. And the same day that he saw her, my daughter saw her somewhere else. And they didn't know. They like texted me at different times. And I was just like, you guys need to talk
yeah.
because she's obviously trying to tell you both, I'm here. But my son, he had that objective vision, and for him it was like, for that moment he was like, wait, I forgot that she was gone. So it was kind of like an emotional piece for him.
Yeah.
But it was also a blessing for him because he was also grateful to have that moment of being able to see her there, healthy, happy, safe.
It is. It's an amazing thing, especially if you've lost someone, because if you see somebody that looks like the person that you've lost, like it instantly comes to your mind and you're like, oh, is it them? Could it be them? And for him to have that moment and actually see her.
And for him, it was an apparition. Yeah. It
Whew.
wasn't even like another person who looked like her. It was an apparition of her in the daytime, which is not common. Um, that occurred for him. And I think my piece was like, you're very lucky because if you even said to yourself, oh, I want to see that again, I'm like, that's not something that's just going to happen. Like, you can't make that happen.
Yeah.
So it was a very special moment for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, and when I was researching you and I was like, oh, she's worked with people that have passed, I didn't realize that. And my dad just passed on Christmas,
Oh, I'm so
this past
sorry.
Christmas. And like when you said about like dreams, like I was so upset because like I've heard that like, when people pass that they'll speak to you through dreams, and I've lost other family members and I immediately have a dream and I was getting so upset because I wasn't having a dream, and I'm like I really just want that like last communication with him. And I finally had it. I was like, thank you. Thank you.
I, and that's the thing is like when we have that, it's just like,
Yeah.
like it's just knowing. It's tremendous.
It gives you peace. So I'm sure your son, especially because he saw the apparition, like I'm sure he probably
Mhm.
felt some of that peace.
Oh, absolutely. I think it really allowed him to understand a little bit of his grief better.
Yeah. Grief's it's a crazy thing.
Grief,
It's a weird
grief
thing.
sucks.
It does suck. It
Sorry,
really,
I
no.
don't I hope she warned you about me, like being a New Yorker. Like I'm really like trying not to curse and stuff.
Oh
Like,
my God.
like,
You can curse on this podcast. Please.
oh, can I?
Be
I didn't know
yourself.
that.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. No. So when I reached out to her and I said, hey, do you have anybody that you would recommend? You were the first person she recommended. And
Aw.
she was just like, she's a little serious. So I don't know how, and I was like, oh, and I looked at your profile and I was like, we're going to have a great time. If she is a pet psychic, we're going to have the best time. So please be yourself. You can swear, of course. If you're a New Yorker at heart, be a New Yorker.
Oh God, I do be careful what you say.
But you're right though. Grief does suck, and like it sucks. There's nothing like when people try to just like check in with you, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "How do you think I'm okay?" The answer is no,
Mhm.
but I appreciate it. Like I appreciate the gesture, but no.
But it's very frustrating because those are the questions that we don't want to hear.
Yeah,
Like no, we're not okay.
yeah,
And then unfortunately, people check up on us for the first week, and then when that month passes by and you have that 1 month anniversary, you're trying to keep yourself busy, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden, boom, it hits you. It's just, and I think that's why I love doing what I do, because I get to give people that moment of understanding their grief, but
Yeah.
understanding that they're not alone.
I think that's like one of the most comforting things is you're not alone, and just to have some of that just like peace and just understanding of what's beyond this physical world is just it's a beautiful thing to understand, especially when you're just sad. Just
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Did you have any communication with your mom? If you don't mind me
I
asking.
did. No, no, my mom, listen, my mom is a Puerto Rican woman that's still bossing me around. So, it's been very, I miss her to death, but I'm also very spoiled where I could feel her
Yeah.
consistently. I know when I go to do things, or if I'm just meditating, or if I'm going to sleep, and I just feel her there, and I'm like, hey, listen, like, what do you need me to do, or what do you want me to make sure of, or what, like, can you teach me this? Can you open me up to this? Because in the physical world, she didn't want to do this, but now in the spirit world, she's like, okay, Natalie, you need to step it up. So, what are we going to do here? Which is really, no one is in her ear asking her questions about me and what I do. So now it's just a free for all for her to be like, bitch, get up.
Yep.
You got work to do. And me to be like, I don't want to. And she's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Let's go.
It's got to be kind of nice though, because it's like she's there with you. It's like some things don't change, even
No,
in the
it
spirit
is
world.
nice. It is nice because it gives me that piece of, because you have those moments where grief hits.
Yeah.
You go to do something and boom, all of a sudden it hits you. But then I'm blessed with the fact that I know that I could say, you know what, I'm going to sit in my own space later.
Yeah.
And hey, mom, if you're there, please come join me.
Oh,
And I'm lucky with that. And everybody can do that. Everyone can do that. It's just a matter of being okay sitting in discomfort for a
okay.
period of time until you kind of release and open up, because the discomfort is not easy.
It's not. And it's not easy to sit in your feelings sometimes and feel
Mhm.
them through. So I think for me, like, and like I've tried to do like mindful meditations and I sit there for like 5 minutes and I'm like, this is so stupid. And I just get up and I go do something else. Like,
No, I
I just
agree. I
sometimes it's hard for me to just like center, like, and I think
I
it's just my
know.
personality.
No, I get that totally. And when it comes to emotions too, like, you know a bunch of my mentors, my friends would say, you really need to tap into your emotions to get your mediumship to the next level.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, you need to mind your own fucking business because I'm not tapping into my emotions, and they would laugh and be like, are you kidding? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no. And then I did in my discomfort, and I do in my discomfort, but I think that it softened me a lot
Yeah.
and allowed me to understand grief even more in ways that I couldn't if I didn't tap into those emotions.
Yeah. Do you teach classes on that by
I
chance?
do.
Okay, because I
I
saw
do.
that you did some I think some seminars, and I was wondering if that's because that's a very great
Mhm.
skill to teach, and for people to help understand how to navigate that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Because I have there's a lot of things that I teach, and understand being okay with your emotions and your grief is so important, and teaching someone that it's okay to not be okay
Mm-hmm.
is a whole nother level. It's not somewhere we want to live, but in the moment it's okay.
Yeah.
And I love teaching. Like I said, I'm a high school teacher. I've been teaching for almost 30 years. I started when I was 5 years old, so we could do the math there. But but I've been teaching for almost 30 years, and I think that's another
Wow.
piece, is that I understand how to break things down for people so that they feel safe and secure and supported
Yeah.
while touching areas of their emotions in their lives that they may not want to.
And that's extremely important for someone to feel comfortable when they're trying to tap into that, because it is the most uncomfy thing in the
Oh,
world. Ugh.
it really is. It
I'm like,
really is.
oh, gross emotions. But we gotta work through them.
We do. And I think it makes us stronger, and
It
it just
does.
changes us. It really does. I do anger really well, though. That's one emotion that, like, I could knock it right out the park.
I'm seeing the spiciness now. I feel bad that you were kind of holding out on me a little bit, because now
I'm
I'm
sorry.
feeling it, and that's good. That's great. I love it. Um, do you when you work with people, are you physically exhausted after you read with somebody? How does that affect you after?
So this is the interesting part, because I really had to look at that over the years and all the readings that I've done. And what I realized and noticed is that the way I feel is is how the person experienced their reading.
Okay.
So if they were extremely, and I have no, like, I tell people, please, if you want to cry, cry. If you want to yell, yell. Like, don't feel like you can't do something in your reading. I want you to, really feel into it the way you need to. If I have someone who has experienced a loved one that's been tragically taken from them and they're emotional, that will be draining on me.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on where they are on the grief and how many readings I do for that day. I
Okay.
only do 4 readings a day. I don't do more than that. Um, and if I'm working with pets, it depends what I have. Missing pets is a completely different, missing or stolen, I should say.
Oh my
Pets
gosh.
are a completely different aspect. So when I work with that, I work solely with that pet for that day,
Okay.
because it's the world is not a nice place sometimes.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
Ugh. When you are working with a missing pet, what's the process of that like? Do you request an item from the pet, or how does that work?
So what I request is I request a photo of the pet, and it's preferable if I could get the eyes, because the eyes are
Okay.
the gateway to the soul.
Okay.
So I do ask for that. And I also ask for a map of the location of the area that they were in. But I don't want a map like where I could see the streets. I want like a Google map of like the whole area where I can't see anything, but I could just feel where I'm at. Those are the two things I ask for. And then after I connect with the animal for a period of time, before nighttime, I ask for a photo of the front door of the home,
Oh, okay.
because I light up the front door energetically.
Okay.
And I put out there that either someone safe finds the pet and connect it to that front door, or the pet finds the door and can connect. So I work with the front door of the home,
Oh, that's
which
so
I know
interesting.
sounds really weird,
No,
but
I mean it makes sense. That what I did not expect that as an answer. That's wow.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
what's your like success rate been like? Like, what's the most rewarding experience you've had with this?
Oh, the most rewarding experience. Well, anytime a pet's found, that's the best
Oh,
story from the last story. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
that kind of thing. But I think my first missing pet is my greatest reward, because it was a cat named Romeo who was missing for days and days and days and days. And I kept saying, he's going to come home. He's in somebody's home. We have to get the person to open the sliding glass door so he could run out. Gave her numbers, gave her street names, gave her everything. And he needed medicine for his thyroid.
Oh
So
no,
he was not well and he was gone for days,
Romeo.
and kept working. And he came back home.
That's
And we don't
incredible.
know how he survived without his thyroid medicine, but we don't ask those questions,
No.
you know? But he came back home, and she was like, like both of us, I'm going to be honest. I was like, holy shit, he came back home. Like, you know, I
That's
was so happy this
incredible.
happened. So that is what I always go back to, because I always say, he taught me the lesson of surrendering and just allowing to receive whatever's there.
I love that story. Little Romeo. He made
Little
it
Romeo,
home.
he made it home.
Oh, especially when there's medication involved too. That's a scary thing.
It really is. It really is. And you think to yourself, like, how, who, what, when, why, how. But we also know that we call in, I believe very much in the angels and guides and all of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
we call them all in just to do what they can do,
Yeah.
and sometimes I don't even say specific. I say, just please help me, just help me and guide me. I don't even need to know how. Just come in.
Yeah. Have you worked with like any missing people at all?
Yes. Yes. So when I work with missing people, my friend Allison that I would work with missing people, unfortunately, she's in the spirit world now. She
Oh,
didn't battle cancer that she had.
oh, that's
But
terrible.
working with her, she was a phenomenal medium, and she's one who said, "Please don't try to find me when I'm in the spirit world, because I'm going to be very busy." And do you know that lady still has not come to see me? And I'm like, bitch, you better come soon,
That's
because I'm
so
not going to
rude.
look for you, but you better get your butt over here, because I need to hear from you or see you soon. Like, do say
Yeah, you
that
need
to
to know
her.
she's doing all right.
And I need to know what she's doing, because I know she was very into teaching and educating and finding like truths from and facts from fiction and all this. I need to know what she's doing. Like I really do.
She's like,
You
I
know,
have some theories that I need to debunk before I can come see you.
and that's exactly probably what she's doing, because she was like, when I go to the spirit world, I'm going to find all the answers I was trying to figure out here. So I know she's busy. But she got a group of us together, and she created a team for missing people.
Oh, I
And what
love
I
this.
love that she did was she gave us the case. So we would get a file,
Okay.
and we would do our work, and we would send our work to her, and she would send it to the police department that she was working with. And we
Okay.
had no connection to it. And we would just get our hits, our misses, our I don't knows, and we would continue working in that fact. But I was completely disconnected from anything doing with the actual missing person, family, police, all that stuff,
Okay.
which I loved,
Yeah.
because then I didn't have to worry. It was just me doing my thing with the spirit world and the person that was missing, or you know whoever was connecting with me, and just sharing that information.
I feel like it would be hard if you were like interviewing like family of someone that was possibly
Mhm,
missing, and
mhm,
absorbing their energy and then trying to reach that
mhm,
loved one because you had said before, like, that really
mhm.
affects you. So,
Yeah, and I could accidentally I would know, but I could accidentally tap into their energy psychically
Yeah.
and start reading what their hopes and their wants are and assume that that's what's happening. So that's also like a shady, dangerous part to get into.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not be connected with the family at all personally.
Hmm.
So I can't make that mistake or make that error of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool that you've done that. I mean, that is an incredible, just amazing, fantastic way to use your gift. Is working with missing
I agree
pets,
with you.
missing people.
I,
Peop you were literally doing like the most incredible work with the gift that you've been given that scared you as a child.
I know. It scared me so bad.
But for good reason. I can't even imagine. I
And I think that's what people need to see too. It's like, yes, I was scared, but it's okay to be scared.
it is. It is. Lastly, before I show you my baby pictures,
Yes.
I want to ask you, have you had any interaction with any dark spirits or dark entities? And how do you treat that if that comes up?
So, I believe strongly light attracts light, and I work with light. I don't work with the darkness.
Yeah.
If I am somewhere, and yes, I'm not going to say there is no darkness, because there is. I'm not going to say that there's no evil, because there is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that there's no demons, because there are. So if I am encountered, this reminds me of a story that's so bad that I'm going to share with you in a second.
Please share it.
Wait until you hear this.
I can't wait.
But if I am encountered by something that is not, I right away, like, nope, not me, buddy. You
Okay.
need to go. You need to go because you're in my space now and you're not welcome. And it's as easy as that. I just
Okay.
ground myself and demand that. My mother taught me that.
Okay.
And this is the story.
I can't wait.
Buckle
Okay.
up.
Share it. Share it.
Um, so I was probably 7 or 8, and I had an aunt, a great aunt, who believed very strongly in demons and all that stuff. And I had a Ouija board. And she kindly told me that if I touched it and played with it, that I would attract demons and they would come after me. I was a little girl, scared the crap out of me, so I shared it with my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, being her Puerto Rican self, was like, oh, really? Oh, is that what she told you? Okay, so guess what we're going to do?
No.
We're flying to Portugal tomorrow on a 7-hour flight. We're bringing the Ouija board, and guess what we're opening up on the plane?
No. Your mom, wild.
My
Wild.
mom did not care. She brought that Ouija board. She opened it up on the airplane. She made us play the Ouija board, and she was like, well, we'll see what happens. Because she was so angry at my aunt taking away my power and putting fear within me
Yeah.
for something that I have control of.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned boundaries. Light comes from light, and if you feed it, it will follow you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feed it.
I
She did
think
not play.
okay. Homegirl did not play. She was like, we're just going to take a casual 7-hour flight and go get this Ouija board. We're just going to go do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love the fire that your mom had. Incredible.
Yeah. That's your Bronx girl.
And did a demon come from the Ouija
No.
board? Did he
Nope.
deboard the plane with you?
Nope, nothing. We opened it up on the airplane. We had our game. We had our stuff. We got off the airplane. We brought it with us. We had it in Portugal with us. I was probably there for 4 weeks. Flew back with the Ouija board. Everything came and it was actually, and I'm not putting it out there for the spirit world to test me on this, but it
Please
was
don't.
actually very disappointing if you think about it, because there was
Yeah.
no hurrahs, wow, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. It was like, okay, this is stupid. Let's return this board.
Right, like this is awful. Were you like, I just wanted my bed to rattle a little bit?
Yeah, it's like
Like,
something.
okay.
It's like something. Give me a message, like give me a message, like don't do this,
Just
but
a little
nothing.
something.
Yeah, something. But but that was because my mom put her boundaries up and was like, okay, we're going to do this, but nobody is going to come near my daughter because you don't have permission to. So
Yeah.
she set that whole situation up in her way.
That's so badass.
So badass.
I
Yet
mean,
she didn't want to
seriously.
communicate. Yeah. But
And
yet she didn't want to be a medium, and she didn't want to, she would support me 100%, and she would watch everything I did, and she would give me critiques and tell me what I shouldn't have done and should have done and all that stuff. But don't put her in front of and doing it for people. Like, she just did it from behind.
she's like, I want no part in this, but I will teach you all the things that you need to
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna ask maybe a dumb question.
Nothing's dumb.
Well, well, excuse me. Do you like thrifting or antiquing by chance?
No, I hate it.
Okay.
I hate it. And this is why. Because you touch something, you don't know who the hell's touched it and how many have touched it. And it's like, it's high anxiety. It's high anxiety for me.
Yeah. Can you, okay, so I guess that like brings me to another question. So if somebody is like touching something, puts it back or like owns it, does all of that energy stay within that object? Or
I mean,
no?
if I just go through a store and I touch something, no, not really. But if I'm
Okay.
in a really bad mood and I walk in a store and I touch something, like, my mood can affect that piece, that article of clothing,
Okay.
you know? And I always compare it to, like, when your mom's in a really bad mood and you walk into the space and you're like, she doesn't say anything and you're like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here.
Yep. Like, bye. See ya.
Yep. Yep.
Adios.
Same thing. Same thing. Yep. Yep.
I So I think I ask that because I love thrifting and I love antiquing. And very recently I've gotten into grandma core. And I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but it's just like, something that your grandma would own. And like, listen, I just love a plate with a goose on it. But I just was wondering, like, because people have owned these pieces, like if energies or like dark entities could hold on to, if you believe that that happens, if it holds on to pieces.
Yeah, I definitely believe it holds on to pieces. It doesn't necessarily have to be a dark entity or negative energy. I mean, if you have a plate from grandma and she was not like my grandmother, who was really sweet, and my grandmother was not, um, you'll have a really sweet plate where I also feel like, if I were to get a pot from somebody who made dinner and loved to cook with this piece, I really truly feel like the food would taste different when I cook with it because their energy is in it.
Yeah.
You know? So I believe that very strongly with the energy. Same thing with homes. My house that I live in now, I just moved in 5 years ago, and it was built in 1918.
Oh, the
Um,
best.
and I do have, a gentleman who is here, that lived in this home for many, many years. And it was a little bit difficult in the beginning because I was like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "Oh, you could see me." And I was like, "Oh, buddy, yes, I can."
You're like, yes, sir. I sure
I
can.
can. I think it was just more of a, who's coming into my home that's been in my family for 50 years. You're a stranger, and what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I think once he saw that we would respect it, then we're okay.
Okay. I mean, listen, I'm just saying you could get into real estate. You could be like selling houses and you'd be like, listen, the energy here, it's good.
Yeah,
Spirits
yeah,
here,
good.
friendly.
They're nice. They're nice. They're nice. Across the street, not so nice.
Yeah, that house across the street, don't purchase that house. Not good.
When I'm ready to move, I'll be like, "Listen, the energy in this home is very welcoming. You have someone who could protect you."
Yeah, you'll be like, Carl's great. You're going to love Carl.
And he comes with the house, no extra charge.
Right, which I think is a great bonus. I want to know what spirits I'm inheriting. If
Right,
Carl's going to hang
right.
out with me, then that's fine. We'll watch Vampire Diaries together. It'll be great.
Exactly.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, can I show you my babies?
Yes, and if you could just hold it still so I could
Okay,
get a clear vision of it, because it's still a little bit not clear.
okay.
Um,
So I do want to tell people that are possibly listening to the podcast, I am going to show pictures of my babies. Do you want to know their names or no?
yes,
Okay.
please. And as you're setting that, what's your baby's name?
Chunk.
Sorry, I did giggle. I just love it.
No, it's a good name.
It's a great name.
I wasn't going to keep it. So
Well, don't tell me anything.
I'm sorry. I
Oh,
will
the
not.
name. Okay, but don't tell me anything because
I will not.
you
I'm so
just never
sorry.
know what Chunk will say.
Okay.
Chunk might rat you out, you know?
Okay. Well, Chunk, yeah, he would rat me out.
Oh, I got 2 pictures. I got another one.
I have 2 babies.
Oh my God.
I have 2
Who's
babies.
the second one? I'm sorry. I'm so ADHD when it comes to animals.
It's fine.
For anybody who's listening, like you don't count anymore. They do.
Nope, it's the pets because that's what we love here. We love the animals, we love the pets. So
Yeah.
Rennis is the second boy that I sent you.
Can you spell that for me?
Yes, it's Rennis. So it's like Dennis, but with an
Okay.
R.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, so for those that are listening right now, I
Yes.
have the photos up in front of me, and you gave me beautiful photos that I could see the eyes of the babies. And the reason why I love to have that is because the eyes are the gateway to the soul. So what I do is I take a moment and I connect through the eyes, and I just have to tell you, Chunk is already starting, not shutting up. I know. And I'm going to go right in. Usually I'm going to explain and like kind of like let you know what it is, but he's like, no, lady, you need to stop talking because I'm in charge right now.
That's
So
fair.
I know that even though he has his like little size and his little cute name, he's very wise. So I know that he makes me feel like he listens to everything that you say conversation wise
Okay.
and knows exactly what you're processing and how it is. So he listens to everything.
Stop.
Now, do you like hold his paws and like talk, like what's with the paws? Because I have the paws in the hands. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but he's holding my paws and he's like kind of like talking to me, but like wanting to sing. No offense, and not the greatest singing voice. I don't mean to offend you in any way, but he's just like, listen, she like takes me, she takes my paws, and we're like dancing and singing together. He's like, I love it, but I think I have a better voice than her.
That would be very Chunk, and I do dance with him. I will pick him up,
Okay.
and I used to like do little dances with him. And it seemed like he hated it when I would do it with him.
Oh, I'm sure he did. But,
Yeah.
But he's just giving you credit for doing that and feeling that. And he also talks to me. Okay, so I feel like, and I know you said you weren't going to keep the name.
Yeah.
Because there's something that he's sharing with me about his name. And don't tell me, because I just want to go into this for a second, because it's
No.
like the story behind this
Uh-huh.
is what he's sharing, because he's like, I didn't really fit my name, but my personality did. You know what's really weird, and I don't know if you're going to understand this, but I have to give what I get.
Okay.
He keeps showing me Chunk from the Goonies. So, yes or no, without going into details, would you understand why he's sharing this with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, just so you know, he's sharing the scene when they're like outside and they're like, do the, what is it? The, whatever it is that he lifts his shirt
The
up.
truffle
and he, like,
shuffle.
But that's literally what he's showing me right now. And I feel like Chunk had this personality that just lit up the room. Like he could read everybody. He could see everybody. He could just cheer everybody up. Is Chunk in the spirit world?
No.
Okay, so which dog that you have is in the spirit world? And if it's not for you, who's in the room with you, that's coming through, that's also like a medium-sized, darker dog?
I bet it's Max.
And this was your baby?
He was a family dog.
Okay. And the reason why I say that is only because I felt all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, I felt like Chunk was here. I almost said Goonies. I felt like Chunk was here. And all of a sudden I was pulled to the spirit world. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So I
Yeah.
have to just let you know that Max is here too. But I feel like Max is here too. Like, do you have a brother?
I do.
Okay, so I just want to say hi to the brother as well also, because Max wants to say that as well too, because I feel like Max was like you said, the family dog.
Yeah.
But like coming in and saying like I don't know how to say this. I was the one who opened the door to the love for the animals. So I feel like either Max was the first family dog or the one who introduced you guys that you have the most memories with when it comes to having a pet.
I wonder if it's Shane, but he wasn't a medium size. He was a smaller guy.
Like 20 pounds when I say medium.
Okay. Might be Shane. I apologize. I was
And I
thinking like,
apologize for not getting more
no,
evidence from him to know if it was Shane or Max,
it
because I
would be
really should
Shane.
have.
Yeah, it would be
Okay,
Shane.
this is Shane. So Shane is the one who kind of was like the first family dog that
Yes.
came in and like brought you through and like kind of introduced you to having a pet and being irresponsible with the pet, because I was going to
Yes.
say responsible, but he was like they weren't really very responsible.
Uh-huh.
Meaning the kids wise weren't. Not that he was neglected. I want people to know this.
Yes, was not neglected. We loved him a lot.
And how do you connect with the month of October as being significant, like a birthday, anniversary, month of passing, October?
I was married in October.
Okay, so that would be an anniversary, right?
Yes.
So you gave me that it was Shane. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's just to confirm that it is Shane that's here, because I got October as significant.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that. So if it's an anniversary, I just want to say that that was Shane coming through. Sorry for talking so fast. For your
No.
listeners, when I start to connect, that's what happens.
No, this is incredible.
So I just want to jump to Rennis for a second. I want to sing a song to him. You know the song like I know I'm gonna make a fool of I'm not singing. So whoever's listening, you don't have to lower your volume. I'm not singing for
thought you were gonna
anybody.
sing for
'Cause
it.
then they would cancel your podcast and charge you fees for I don't know what. Just so you know. But I feel like that joke, you know the song, like how we used to like Natalie Fofatally, Fee Fi Bo, whatever the hell it goes, like that whole song where we rhyme everything.
Yeah.
I want to sing to Rennis when I'm rhyming though. I feel like there's like this silliness that I want to sing to him.
Yeah.
Him? Rennis is a boy?
Yes, he's a boy.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that because I said him, that slipped through. Now, when I feel Chunk's personality and then I feel Rennis's personality, it's different.
Yeah.
I feel like Rennis is more of a goofball. He makes me feel like I'm the one who walks into the sliding glass door because I don't realize it's not open.
Uh-huh.
Like that's literally what I feel like for him.
Yep.
I also feel like he makes me feel like I'm just happy. Was Rennis a rescue?
He was a rescue.
I could tell because he said thank you. You know, so that's the other piece is he says thank you. Because I feel like there's a special story behind him of like, I just want to tap into this for a second. I hear a lot of noise, so this is how I have to kind of decipher what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of noise and I feel overwhelmed. So did you pick him up from a shelter?
I did.
Okay, so the noise that I'm feeling and I'm hearing is very overwhelming for me. So I'm not really who I really can truly be because of my surroundings. So he's showing me this. And then he's showing me the love and the respect that you have for him or had for him when you got him, and understanding that he had to decompress for a period of time and giving him that decompression. Even though you wanted to swaddle him and cuddle him and squeeze him and hug him and love him, you still understood his boundaries and you allowed him to grow. So he's very grateful for you allowing him to grow and become himself the way he needed to. You have, not to take away from Chunk, love Chunk, big heart, all that piece. But there's something about Rennis that he just has this spot in your heart that he just, and you have a spot in his heart, that there's just that piece of you saved me and allowed me to save you. So can you understand how he's sharing that piece?
Yeah. He's my baby. I saw him at the shelter and I just connected with him. And I was like, I have to get him. I have to get him out. I just knew, and I watched him on the shelter website for like a month, and he was still there. And I said, I have to go get him.
And it's like, it just, the way he brought me to the shelter, it was like, it wasn't his space, you know, and not that any shelter dog was like, you know, yay, this is great here. But he just made me that my ears were hurting with the overwhelming feeling of everything. Also, would you understand the skin issues that he would have come with or the allergy issues that he would have come with when he came out of the shelter?
Yeah.
Because he has me itchy.
Yeah. He's an itchy boy.
He's an itchy boy?
He's an itchy boy. Yeah. He's an itchy boy. And he had little like spots, I just think, from being in the shelter on his like elbows that he just, now they're going away. but it took him some
And they'll
time.
go away and they'll get better. I could tell you that. Not a doctor, don't diagnose or prescribe, have to say that. But they will, I have to say that. But they will get better. I also feel like he's just such a sloppy mush.
He is.
I feel like he doesn't have table manners.
Nope. Not even a little bit. He is the messiest.
He acknowledges that, but it's just because he's like, this is so weird how I'm going to say this, but he's like, my tongue is so big and I just love tasting everything and drinking the water and splashing it everywhere that I just do it.
Yep.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Oh.
And he just loves that. Now, and he's sharing this with me, and I think it might be both of them sharing with me, but was there a conversation about like a tattoo connected to them? Like one day you may have to get one, or a conversation connected to a tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had planned to get a tattoo of both of them, and it didn't work out at the time to go get it.
And it doesn't have to work out. It's just a matter of they know of these conversations that are happening and they know that this is going on. So again, when I was saying Chunk is super nosy and listens to everything,
Yeah.
like just that everything is being heard and listened and that kind of that feeling. Who has the blanket that's theirs? That like you could put the blanket over yourself, but they want it off of you and on them.
Rennis.
Okay.
It's Rennis.
Because it's like you could lay down and get really comfortable, but let me come in and I'm just going to take over.
Yep.
Just take over.
Yep.
Just take over.
Can I ask you if anything comes through about what Rennis's life was like before I adopted him?
I can. Yeah, I mean, you can.
And it may
And
not.
when I was in the shelter, like, do you know the history? I just don't want to give too much, but I do want to say that I feel like I'm going to say the words a family, but it really wasn't a family. I feel like I had someone who neglected me and didn't care for me. So I feel like I was picked up. I was found on the streets. I feel like I was picked up malnourished because it was kind of like, I don't know where you're located, don't tell me, but I kind of feel like I was dumped
Yeah.
on the streets. But I feel like I'm like in the South. Do you know where are you? I'm sorry for saying if I'm trying to connect how I'm feeling this because it's funny. I got like North Carolina and then all of a sudden I was thrown to Texas. So I just have to understand this for a second.
Yeah.
Where you are or where you got Rennis from, I feel like he was transported to the shelter. So I don't feel like he was picked up off the streets of where you live. So would
Okay.
you know this to be true? Would you know this?
I wouldn't. But I did
Okay.
adopt him from the South LA animal shelter.
Oh, okay. So that's why I'm getting south because I'm like, why am I getting south?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as
So
you
it was
said
the
that,
South LA Animal Shelter.
yeah.
Okay. So he's acknowledging that then. He's like, why? Because I got the South. I'm like, why did they give me South Carolina and then all of a sudden Texas? I'm like, where am I going here? But it must be just South that he's trying to give me. And I'm not listening because I'm stubborn. I'm just tapping in for. I feel like it's Chunk. If we could just, again, not a doctor, don't diagnose or prescribe, but if we could just watch Chunk's ears
Okay.
to make sure that we're not getting like yeasty or anything like that. But I feel like we just have to watch the ears. I don't know if he had issues with his ears before, but I just
Okay.
want to watch them.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? I mean, 1,001, that's okay.
I mean, so many. I really feel like the personality is you hit it like spot on. Like, because Chunk is very just like crazy and in your face, but like I do feel like he's more of like my. I don't know if soul dog is like the right word, but like I can just look at him and I know he understands what I'm saying to him, which is crazy. And Ren is like just my goofy, but he's my affectionate boy. He wants to be on top of me.
Yeah.
If he could be in my skin, he would be in my skin. Like he just loves to like, but it took him a while. It took him almost 6 months to feel comfortable. And it's funny. And I was saying to my friend actually today, in older pictures of him, you can see his ears up and then now they've dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell he's finally comfortable.
Oh, I definitely, and I think that he really appreciates that time of understanding, the understanding of knowing that he needed that time.
Yeah.
Do you give your animals middle names? Why do I keep on saying ask
Yes.
about the middle names?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just
No,
like,
Chunk Daryl is
I
and
love it.
I think Rennis, I never officially gave him a middle name, but I did call him Rennis
Mhm.
Bartholomew the other day and it felt right.
I love it. I love it. No complaints here. They were just like, you have to ask about the middle names. I'm like, okay, I'll ask about the middle names.
Yep. The middle
And I
names.
would have never guessed those middle names in 1,000 years. So if anybody asks, why didn't you ask for it? It's not that easy. Otherwise, I probably would have believed it anyway if they gave it to me.
They're literally insane. If you had been like, Daryl? What is this? Why? Why did you select this? No, this was incredible. This was perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping for. I think, I was hoping something. A part of me wants to know what Ren's life was like before I got him, but then part of me is like, I feel like he's so happy now that I don't know if I want to know because he was at the shelter for a long time.
And I'll tell you that animals are very resilient. They can let go of their trauma, unlike humans.
Yeah.
Like they really can learn to disconnect and release it, which we really should learn that from them. you know and I will also share that, like, if we had like an hour, like for me to really go in and ask him stuff and stuff like that, we could see what happened beforehand. But there has also been times where animals have told me, nope, we're not going there.
Yeah.
We're not going, because the
Oh,
trauma has been so deep. It's not that they can't handle it. They feel like they're human. They don't want to expose their human to that.
yeah.
And I've respected that with some of the readings that I've had.
I think it would be very difficult to know the truth, especially when you are rescuing a baby from the shelter and,
Hmm.
giving a dog or a cat or any animal a home that it deserves. And I feel very strongly about it. I feel like if you are able to adopt, do it. And, if I could have 45 dogs, I would. But, I have 900 square feet to work with in my apartment. So two is going to be the limit for right now.
Listen, I've got a zoo in my house. Every time I turn around, my kids will call me. I'm like, no, no vacancy. No more rescues. No vacancy.
No room at the inn.
No room at the inn, you know, because I'm the same way. Like, if I could, I always say that, my dream is to get land, have a main house, and then have tiny homes where people could come and visit me. But when you visit, there's rescue animals in there, that's their home, that you're staying with them to help them. Like, that is my dream.
I love that. And I hope you can achieve that. That's
Me
amazing.
too.
Oh my gosh, we love the animals. They're better than people sometimes.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna
Sometimes
I'm not gonna lie.
I always say it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love my animals. People I could be without.
I get that. I feel
But
that
it's the unconditional love. Like,
they
we come
are.
home, we're in a bad mood, they still wag their tails in except for cats. My cats are a little bit of a handful.
I have not had good experiences with cats, but I love them. I'm not a
I
cat
love them.
girly.
Yeah, I love my cats, but they're like, lady, you are 5 minutes late. I am starving and gonna die. You better open up a can now. I don't care that you have to pee and your bladder is full.
Right. They're like,
They say.
let me hear that can opening.
Exactly.
Where's my
Meanwhile,
food?
dogs will be like, my bladder's full, but I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. Like,
We've all done it. We've all run into our house and had, you're literally on the brink. You're like, I gotta go now. You've been sitting in traffic for like an hour and a half. And then your dog or your cat is just like, excuse me?
yeah.
Excuse me? What are
Cats
you
are like, no, no, no. I'll knock that door down. You better open it up right now.
literally like, let's go. Let's go, mom. I need it.
Exactly.
This has been an absolute pleasure. I had a wonderful time.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a guest. I definitely would like to schedule a personal reading with you sometime soon. I think that would be very comforting to maybe, tap into my dad, although, he's stubborn. So he's probably going to be like, why are you doing this? This is so you to do this.
I would love that.
But I think that could be a really nice experience for both of us. But can you shout out your socials for everybody? And if you have anything coming up that you'd like to share?
So my socials, all my socials are Natalie Lucia Medium. So they're all the same thing for Facebook, for Instagram, for TikTok. They're all the same. I am horrible on social media. So if anybody wants to teach me anything, I am open to learn because I am the worst. I do lives on Facebook.
Ooh.
I do When the Soul Speaks is a live readings that I do for our human people. And then tomorrow on the Spirit Realm Network at 8 o'clock on Fridays, I'm bringing back Animal Whispers, which is where people come on live and they bring their photos of their pets, and I'll give you a mini reading live with their animals.
Oh, that's incredible.
Which is really nice. Yeah,
Oh.
which is really nice. And like I tell people, like, find me, follow me, ask me
Yes.
questions. I teach classes, I do webinars, I do workshops, I do readings. And I really love seeing people connect and heal and walk away from me feeling better than they did when they walked in. And that's my goal.
That's beautiful. You are incredibly talented. Thank you for so much for spending this hour with me. And anyone that's listening or watching, I mean, she read Chunk and Rennis. I mean, the babies. So that's just a glimpse of what she can do. Incredible. Absolutely incredible, especially this guy. There's no thought. There's no thoughts between those eyes. And we love him. That's fine. But thank you so much again for being a guest on the podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.